kicked off first, not kicked out. If you get kicked out, that's not good. If you need the restroom, it's immediately out the door to the left. It does not say restroom on it. It's the plain brown door, but that is the restroom. Okay, for our speakers, make sure you're listening. I'm going to tell you a couple of things that you need to know, okay? So does everybody have one of these, by the way, so you know what acts are coming? Thank you, Miss Olivia, for taking the time. She's a sergeant at arms in her club, and she did that service beautifully. Thank you. Okay, so as you're speaking, you have a certain amount of time to give your speech. You have a minimum amount of time, and you have a maximum amount of time. Once you have reached the minimum, once you're good, you have said enough that you could stop if you're done. I will give you a green. That means you've done the minimum, okay? That way you know, okay, I can relax a little bit. When you're 1 minute before your maximum, I'm going to give you a yellow. That means, uh-oh, I better start putting this speech away because I am almost out of time. When I hold up the red, that means you have reached your maximum amount of time. I don't necessarily suggest you just stop talking at that point, but you better start wrapping up because you do lose points if you go too long. You don't want to go too short or too long, okay? Is anybody unsure of how long they have? You probably know that at this point, but I'm glad to tell you. Do you know? Yep, 3 minutes. Perfect. All right, so Miss Rebecca and I will be, by the way, I didn't introduce ourselves. I apologize. My name is David Hafner. I am the Martin County 4-H agent. Along with me is Rebecca Nolte. She is the Martin County 4-H program assistant. Both of us were in 4-H in our younger years, some of them longer than the other since we've been in 4-H. So we're definitely passionate about 4-H and excited to have bringing up the next generation of 4-H members in this room. So really excited to have you here, and we will not delay it any longer. By the way, we are recording, so that way we can share your awesome performances with the rest of the county. So with that, we'll get underway. Beginning this evening, we have Miss Haley Lunning. She's doing public speaking, and the topic is success and failure. So Miss Lunning, you let me know when you're ready.
Right up to me, shakes my hand, and tells me why she chose me over everyone else. She simply said that I held on to my goat, and I didn't let go, and that's why I showed that I was the one. Who would have thought that being embarrassed by a goat and being dragged across the arena would lead to success instead of failure? We come across numerous challenges daily. How we react to them and persevere through them will lead us to success or failure. Through these challenges, we may even face multiple failures, but they will lead us to success if we are determined. And once successful, we have the tools and confidence to keep on succeeding. During our daily lives, we encounter numerous challenges, but our reaction to our challenges determines if we will be successful or not. Temple Grandin developed the center track conveyor restrainer system for holding cattle. Even though she made this major system, she faced many challenges, including autism and a lack of encouragement for her fellow workers. Grandin was extremely frustrated with how her ideas were being shut down, but eventually, and with perseverance, her idea was brought to life and now used daily. We all have met a person or two who has given up when faced with a problem. But with that reaction they will not succeed at what they're doing. Through the years of showing livestock and competing in 4-H events, I have learned what makes individuals highly successful. Instead of overreacting to an obstacle, they are faced with methods. Instead of overreacting with an obstacle, they use different methods of handling their emotions during discouraging times. Showing my livestock at my local county fair, I developed a commitment to my animals. Though the animals pose issues at times, I use resiliency to overcome these struggles. This mindset and dedication to my project leads success at fair. Having a positive outlook on the challenges we face sets us up for success, while having a negative attitude may lead us into discouragement. In fact, the more failures we experience, the more likely we are to be successful. Thomas Edison was the inventor who created the first light bulb. It took him 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before he created that light bulb. His fortitude to keep going after all his unsuccessful attempts led him to be one of the most famous inventors. In some of my own project years, the struggles seemed to outweigh the positives and led to an unsuccessful show. However, I learned what I did wrong and corrected it within the next year. Therefore, being adaptable to our struggles, we change our circumstances to best fit our personal preferences while attaining our goals. Furthermore, once achieving a goal, we have the tools and confidence to keep on succeeding. A drawing that I have come across shows an upside-down award platform, showing first place being crushed by all the weight, second place holding some weight, and third place just relaxing with no weight. Achieving success brings much weight and pressure and impacts winners differently. However, holding on to that success is easier when we have the correct tools and mindset to commit to our similar goals. Others may look up to us for leadership and guidance, which then provides us with more knowledge of our goals and ways to become even better. For example, I have been a 4-H member for 13 years. When I first started showing, I had no clue what I was doing. No knowledge, no expertise, were limited. So I grew older and I learned more about showing to become successful. I had a few officer positions. This encouraged me to become a leader by gaining more knowledge and spreading it among my peers and the future generations. Having others look up to us keeps us in check and molds us into better individuals. In conclusion, we encounter multiple challenges daily. Our reaction and perseverance through them will lead us to success or failure. Through these challenges, we at times face numerous failures that lead to success if we are dedicated. And once we're successful, we have the tools and confidence to keep on succeeding. Success does not come easy. It takes a lot of work and fortitude. So the next time you come across an obstacle, don't give up. Push through the resistance and come out stronger. Make the best better.
Haley, great job. All right, so our next person, before I bring you up, I didn't want to say this before Haley because I know Haley's been doing this a while, but I want to encourage you guys, because we're going to have some younger ones now coming up here. You might have caught it a couple times that Haley might have messed up a line, but she didn't let that stop her. She went back, she corrected it, and she went again. So don't worry about that. That happens. It doesn't matter how good of a public speaker you are, you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. going. And act like it didn't even happen, and most people won't even hear, okay? And just like Haley did, she did a fantastic job. All right, so now we'll have Miss Grace come up.
Grace or Gus?
Grace.
That's Gus.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, it's Gus. I was looking at my donations. Oh, that's.
Hi, my name is Gus. Today
apologize, but Gabriel, if you're ready, we're ready for you.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Joseph, and I have been a cover bug and been doing 4-H for 1 year. And today I will be showing you how to do it right away. So first, you get it between your legs, and then you start jumping like that. And once you can do that, you start going like this, and go that. And then once you can do that, you start like kind of like running up, like that. And once you can do that, you can start a bit faster. And you can do that. Does anybody want to try? And the purpose of this kick is for it to go over the opponent's head and to redirect the ball right back to you. I'll try. Why not? I'll try. Why not? So you start off to get it between your legs, this, and then you just jump and you let go and hit it with your legs. And I've been doing soccer since I'm 3 years old, and I'm currently now in U8. I started U8 since I was 5.
Thank you very much for that information about your special kick there. Something you might be interested in the future is that there is 4-H programming that has soccer. So
Oh.
maybe that's something you might be interested in, sir.
That's so cool.
All right, next up, Kylia.
Hi, my name is Kylie Joseph. I've been doing 4-H for 2 years, and I have been dancing since I was 3 years old. I'm currently 8, gonna be 9 on April 26th. I'm gonna be showing you some of the tricks that I've learned over the past years of my dancing, including my front handspring, cartwheel, and handstand. And I'm going to show you my cartwheel. That one I started practicing when I was 3 years old, and I probably got it when I was like 5. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of core strength to hold yourself when you're right here. So once you practice and can go right here, then you can work on making sure your legs are straight and your arms are straight and your feet are pointed. Next, I'm going to be showing you my front handspring, which is a recent trick that I've got. Let me go with some patches. Is one of my newer tricks. It's, if you ever want to learn how to do it, the best way is to start with your handstand and kicking over into your, like that. So you're going like run into it and then fall. So that. And the last trick that I'll be showing you is my handstand. That is a trick that you can do a lot of things from. You can go into your double stack. You can go into your straddle, into your splits. You can go backwards, you can go forwards. You can do a lot of things from your handstand. Thank you. I'm not big enough to spot anybody. Yeah.
Everyone 60 first.
Okay. All right, up next, we have another public speech from Ms. Ella Moore. And she'll be talking about bees.
As much as everybody hates their seasonal allergies, which is almost always caused by pollen, I have to admit I still love bees. Hi everyone, I'm Ella Morey and I'm 15 years old. And since 2015, my family has been raising bees. Now ranging from one hive to nearly 80 at one point, it's safe to say that after that and over 6 years in 4-H, I've learned a lot about not only the agricultural processes in Florida, but also on a global scale, and how that relates to pollinators worldwide. So, from my childhood, which was spent in a 90-degree climate in a bee suit, but only flip-flops, to starting my own business, Ella's Backyard Honey, I've worked up to selling products in farmers markets and at events, and now, more importantly, I educate the public on pollinator issues, how that impacts our food system, and how the farm-to-table process works. So today, I'm going to share with you a little bit about bees, the impact it has on our food supply, and how 4-H is actively playing a role in bee conservation efforts. So first, let me give you guys a little bit of an overview of the hive. There are 3 types of bees: worker bees, drone bees, and of course, the queen bee. Worker bees, as their name suggests, work in the hive. They cover all of the main functions of the hive, and depending on their age, have different jobs. So in their early life, they may be a nurse bee responsible for feeding the larvae in the hive, or later on in their life, they may be a forager bee who flies up to 5 miles outside of the hive to return with pollen. All of these bees are female. Now we move to the drone bees, which are the males of the hive, and their primary purpose is to mate with other queen bees. Now these bees have no stinger and are often larger as they are the males. A fun fact about them is that during the winter season, if the hive gets overpopulated, they actually will get kicked out, as their purpose isn't as fundamental and important as worker bees. Then lastly, and most importantly, you have the queen bee. There's only one queen bee generally in the hive, although sometimes that kind of changes, and she's always the largest bee. A fun fact about her is that she can sting multiple times without dying, and her lifespan is up to 5 years, as opposed to the 6 weeks that the majority of bees generally live. Now that we've done an overview, let's talk about the specifics and a bit more about the agriculture side. So, as you all know, Florida is diverse in agriculture. With citrus, tomatoes, strawberries, sugarcane, and much, much more, the warm climate and heavy rainfall makes it good for more than just farming. It also allows farmers to transport their produce all year round. So while farming is important in Florida's agriculture, there is also a substantial commercial beekeeping industry. Citrus farmers and commercial beekeepers work hand in hand, placing hives in groves of citrus plants and orange blossom trees, where they create orange blossom honey. But beekeeping isn't just limited to Florida. Yearly, millions of honeybees are transported across the country to pollinate crops throughout all of the states. Through the commercial travel routes, they typically start in the southern U.S., Florida, and in the spring, they go to the almond trees in California, where they're in bloom and in need of pollinators. Then, once the bees aren't needed there, they pack up and get loaded in trucks across the country to pollinate blooms of apples, cherries, pumpkins, and much, much more. The commercial honey beekeeping travel route is long and complex, but it is essential in pollinating our crops. Without them, our food supply would be in jeopardy. Honeybees are crucial primary pollinators, so much so that the USDA tells us that 1/3 of the world's food is actually pollinated by bees, and bees alone generate $15 billion worth of crops each year. So, now that you know the main types of bees and a little bit about the agricultural side of beekeeping, there is an unfortunate problem with them. The bee population is rapidly declining at an alarming rate due to pesticide use, disease, and climate change, which is causing habitat loss. Bees are important in our ecosystem and are also essential in the stability of our food chain, making it critical that we act to conserve them. 4-H is being proactive in this movement. They've started a pollinator habitat program as well as local outreach programs, which are helping teach younger generations how to cultivate gardens and keep our habitats safe. So, what can you do? Well, one of the easiest ways is to plant bee-friendly flowers in your garden and local community. have nectar and pollen, but you don't even need a ton of space. Even just planting a single flower in a pot helps contribute to the bigger movement of protecting our pollinators. And if you can, stop using pesticides. There are plenty of all-natural organic options which are just as effective at a lesser harm to our pollinators. And finally, support your local beekeepers. By buying honey and other beekeeping products, you are easily contributing to the health and viability of local bee populations. Not to mention, you're helping your allergies. So today, I hope you all learned a little bit about the different types of bees, the processes of commercial beekeeping, and the role you play in protecting our environment. Thank you.
All right, awesome job, Ella. Thank you very much for the presentation. All right, we had a late entry that was a surprise. I'm excited to announce that we have Miss Olivia is going to step up and she is going to do a presentation. Will you tell us real quick before you start what it is?
I'm going to be
Sorry.
talking about my project animals.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, Miss Olivia, we're ready.
So, when we first started 4-H, my brother started showing goats, which most of the time I'd be in the pen because I like being with animals. But I was way too scared to show. Then, at Tractor Supply, I got a chick, and that was my first show chick. Her name is Star, and a lot of you guys know her, as she's almost died at fair and done a lot of things. I love show and fair because my favorite part is probably showing and the experience, and I love when people come by and I get to tell them about my animal. So this year actually almost won show and show, and next year that will be my goal to get reserve or grand. And then my second year on showing, I showed a pig, a pheasant, and star hen. The pig I showed was for a family that lost their mother and needed help. And then I showed a pheasant because he was pretty, and why not? I also showed my chicken again because I love her. So my pheasant actually got reserve, which was no surprise. I had a lot of fun showing, even though it's stressful, which I know showing can be stressful, but I always say the best part about fair is showing. The stressful part about fair is showing. The hardest part about fair, showing. It's just showing, and that's what 4-H is about. I got a lot better at talking to people because of 4-H. Then I'm showing my heifer, which I showed this year. My heifer is 1 year old, well, 1.5, and let's just say when I thought it was going to be easy showing a heifer, it's not. But amount of time that I did spend and amount of times I got fucked around and everything, that was pretty fun. And scary. I've been through things where I got scared of my heifer, where I was like, this is fine. But everything was about a learning experience. I'm going to try to show new animals because, well, I used to think I'll never show a big animal. Then I thought, this is actually pretty fun. So actually, next year I'll be showing a pig, a heifer, a goat, and 2 chickens, which is a lot, but a thing that my parents said is it's very hard because I'm so young and having to show almost every day would be quite difficult. But the reason why I'm doing this is because showing brings me joy and a little bit of scariness, but mostly joy and the experience of just knowing I showed this or I showed that is all that matters to me. And showing is super fun. As some of these people who have showed here, they know that they put
results and then come forward and give them to you, okay? So just give us a few minutes.
No, which one do you want? That was so fast. I'm like, I got it. That's so cutie. That's like so cute. I bet you guys can catch this one. That's why. You can catch it. Because I have bro, I'm 6 years old. I got it. Mommy! I already caught two.
I know,
You're not going to catch this one. And I just went.
All right. So if I could first have all of our contestants come back to the front of the room, please. So I first wanted to say, well done again. Congratulations for a great job. You guys all did a fantastic job. For Gus and Gabriel, so and in 4-H, we have an age group called the Clover Buds. Those are our 5-year-olds and 7-year-olds. So at that age in 4-H, we are more worried about the experience, not necessarily grading them. So there is no official score for you guys, but I do want to say you guys did a fantastic job. You both brought a lot of energy to your speech today. Gus, you're bringing people up and letting them try to catch those lizards and you sneaking them away. That was a lot of fun. Gabriel giving Miss Olivia a chance to try your trick, which is an important part of 4-H, is teaching other people what you know. That was really good. So you both did a great job today. And you both get some 4-H water bottles. Well done, guys. Congratulations. All right. And then moving on, Miss Olivia, obviously you did that off the cuff, and you did a really good job. I found a lot of value in the things you had to share. You obviously shared from your heart. And you were within the time limits, which is really important. That was perfect, especially unrehearsed. If you do go on to the district competition, I would suggest you do a little bit of practice It is important that you keep the same topic. You want to still talk about the same thing at districts. But we are awarding you blue ribbon level, which does allow you to go to the district competitions. Congratulations. All right, so Miss Kylia, you did a really great job. You got me wanting to do flips. I have never done a flip in my life except the couple times the horses have made me when they threw me off the back. So you did a fantastic job, not only showing us how to do these flips and tricks, but telling us what they were and how you can turn one into another one. You did a fantastic job. The only penalty you had is you were about a minute short, unfortunately. So that's going to take you down a bracket. So you will still be red ribbon bracket. So you did a fantastic job, and I want to congratulate you for a great job.
Make sure there's still white within that bracket, so you're fine.
Okay. Miss Grace, you came up here and you taught us about rabbits. And not only did you teach us about it, but I feel like you even talked above where you might be expected to talk, especially when you were mentioning Arbo and some of these really great terms that you were using. I think you did a fantastic job. And I think that you could really do a great job sharing that information with other 4-H members and helping increase our rabbit program. And I'd love it, maybe if we do a workshop sometime, maybe you can come and be part of that and help teach that. So I think you do a really good job. You did everything well. You were within your time frame that you were allowed, and we are going to give you a blue ribbon bracket. And to create some suspense for Miss Ella, because Haley's not here, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Haley. Haley had to leave. Haley, she is also a college student, so it's pretty cool that she was able to fit this in amongst her studies. She is in high school and dual enrolled in college. And so Haley, if you didn't know, last year she did public speaking, and she went all the way to the national level. I think took 13th, if I remember right, in the nation. So that's pretty impressive, and as far as I know, the first person from our county to do that. So she did a great job today. She will be also given a blue ribbon status, so she will be eligible to go on to the district competition. And I think that's everyone, so. So Miss Ella, you did a great job as well. I really appreciate the way you tied in 4-H, which is a requirement to the speech. You have to tie 4-H into it, and you did that well. But I really like that 4-H was part of it, but your focus was your industry, and you're very passionate about it. I know that, and you really highlighted some of the issues that are important, and they're important for all of us, because without bees, we don't have a lot of things, and we don't have us. So, I don't know, did anybody catch any mistakes as she was speaking? It was very hard to catch because she's very good, but that's what I'm talking about. If you don't stop and just keep going, you probably won't even notice, and Miss Ella did a fantastic job. She will be given a blue ribbon status as well. Miss Ella last year, she did a different category. She didn't do public speaking, she did a demonstration, and she took first in the state. So this is a new category for her, and we're excited to see how far she goes this year with public speaking. So congratulations, you are a blue ribbon as well. So in 4-H, these kind of competitions are important. If you talk to a 4-H member and ask them what 4-H means to them or why is it important to them, it's going to be almost the same thing every time. You're going to hear the same thing. You're going to hear it from me. Is that it brought me from being a shy person who would never get in front of a group to be confident enough to speak. And it's very important as we're developing these children into young adults and into adults that they have that confidence in themselves so they can speak. It's going to be important for job interviews. Who knows? I mean, there's so much value in being able to just speak, and so that's why these competitions are so important. So I'm really glad that you all took the time to be a part part of it, and I can't wait to see what you guys do. I've been watching a lot of you, actually all of you, grow up in this program, and I'm excited for what you've done and proud of all of you. So, congratulations. And that is the end of our program.